What you can see here is the strongest and most powerful weapon in all of Tears of the Kingdom. Hinox dead, Stone Talus dead, Phantom Ganon dead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead, the strongest line in the game defeated in 4 seconds dead. Building this weapon is damn easy, literally my 10-year-old cousin can do it. It can be done super quickly and the reward is simply phenomenal. No matter which enemies you have trouble with, you absolutely must have it because nothing can stop you now. How could we have overlooked this for so long? First, we need to get the Royal Guard's Claymore, which we can find in the throne room of Hyrule Castle. The quickest way to get there is by using this tower here. The best thing about this weapon, however, is that it will likely never be patched, which means you do this entire thing once, right now, and then forever possess the strongest weapon in the game. Once in the throne room, go up to the second floor and then behind the stone here. Now pick up the Royal Guard's Claymore and break it. And yes, I know this sounds like absolute nonsense, but we need to do this in order to be able to obtain an even stronger Royal Guard's Claymore in a minute. You surely know these shadow statues in the depths, right? These mysterious knights hold pristine, even stronger versions of your favorite weapons for you. However, they only do so for weapons you've used or broken in the overworld before, so get rid of the Royal Guard's Claymore. Now go west from Kakariko to the Molonok Shrine or underneath through the Colonum route and then save your game when you get there. This is really important, so don't forget this part. Now you need to walk westward to this mark on the map for another 15 seconds and then we will have reached our destination. Here's the time lapse once again so you know how to get there. And voila, here's the statue holding a random weapon. The weapons that spawn here are randomly selected from all those whose decayed versions you've destroyed in the overworld. If you see the Royal Guard's Claymore here, then great, and if it's not there, then reload the manual save at the light route from before and come back here until you have the Royal Guard's Claymore too. The reason why we saved our game there is because this location is still outside the statue's render distance, meaning we can always get a new pristine weapon. But hold on a second, be careful now. Before you pick up the Royal Guard's Claymore, make sure to save your game again. Now you can pick it up and if you're far enough in this game, this weapon can get powerful bonus effects. What we want is the plus 10 extra damage modifier, because that's the best one this weapon can get. If your weapon has this effect, great, and if not, reload the save in front of the statue and pick it up again until you have your desired modifier. If you were to say now, hey Zelda Senpai, I don't necessarily need the 10 plus extra damage modifier, then that's okay too, because honestly the finished version of this weapon kills everything anyway. By the way, that's also why we saved our game in front of the statue again, so we can repeatedly pick up the weapon and get our desired bonus effect. It feels like all the tutorials on YouTube now want to lead you to the volcano area and have you do stuff with the Octoroks, but honestly that's totally useless and a waste of time when you do it the same way as we do with saving at the statue. If you don't understand what I mean, that's totally fine because we're already 50% done. Now comes the most important but also easiest part of the whole trick, which makes you so OP, and that's the secret ability of the Radiant set. This armor set has the ability that any attack made with a bone weapon deals 80% more damage. But wait, this doesn't exactly look like a bone weapon, or am I stupid? Guys, trust me, it will make sense in just a minute. Go to the store in Kakariko and buy the armor. You might notice that the armor is quite expensive. You can fix this by quickly talking to the lady at the southeastern entrance, because she's the sister of the store owner and wants you to bring her food so that her sister lowers the inflated prices. Pretty sly move, miss. In Hatenos shop get a milk, 1 Hyrule rice, 1 Hyrule herb from your bag, which literally grows everywhere, and a Sandalion, which you can find on any sky island. Now cook, give it to Miss Greed, blah blah, your grandma blah blah, and buy the armor. Don't forget to upgrade all the 3 pieces twice at a fairy fountain to get the hidden ability. Now we have everything, a good weapon, the armor that makes us overpowered. What's missing now? To make use of the strong effect of the armor, we still need a bone, and by that I don't mean, hey Link, give the dog his bone back. What I mean is, take a look at this. A Molduga, or rather, its jawbone. That's it, we're done. Find a Molduga at these 4 spots and kill it. What seems to be a masterpiece for many is actually quite simple. Just stand still. Yes, stand still. Moldugas are attracted by sounds, so throw an item on the ground by pressing R and then D-pad up, or if you like, shoot an arrow on the ground, whatever. Now shoot it with anything, doesn't matter what, because this will paralyze it and then attack. Best to aim for is its belly, because this is its weak point, granting double damage. Yuck, what the heck is this? I don't want to know what it had been chewing on, holy shit. Molduga jaw onto the Royal Guard's Claymore, equip your costume, activate level 3 attack boost with Mighty Bananas or anything else with Mighty in its name, and we're ready for action. Alright friends, are you ready? The moment we've all been waiting for. Why is this so powerful? This will likely be the best moment in your entire Zelda journey, because with every number I mention now, you will realize more and more that you're invincible. Royal Guard's Claymore deals 49 damage, plus Jaw adds 32, totaling 81. The Royal Guard's Claymore has an ability that when it's nearly broken, it deals double damage, so damage it until that message appears, 162 damage. But there's a hidden ability on the Royal Guard's Claymore that Nintendo doesn't tell you about, and no, this is not a joke. When the Royal Guard's Claymore has only one durability left, it deals double damage again. So we have 3 durability left, 1, 2, and now we only have 1 durability left. The game won't show this to you anymore, but you're dealing 324 damage. Now put on the level 2 Radiant set, or you can also use the Phantom Ganon armor, but it has less defense, so I would say it's worse. This adds another 80% damage, so 324 times 1.8 for 80% equals 583 damage per hit. And no, stop, we're not done yet. With a level 3 attack boost meal, we get an extra 50% damage, bringing us to 874.5, which rounds up to 875 damage per hit. And now something many YouTubers don't tell you, probably because they don't know it themselves, so no disrespect intended. In Zelda TotK, there's a hidden multiplier for each weapon type to keep the game balanced. One-handed weapons deal 100% of the displayed damage. Two-handed weapons deal 105% of the displayed damage. And last but not least, spears deal 75% of the displayed damage. You're probably wondering, wait, isn't this unfair? Spears already deal less damage than one- or two-handed weapons. Yes, that's true, but through Material Fuse, the same amount is added to all weapon types. So a Silver Lionel Horn adds 55 damage to all weapon types, of which spears would benefit the most due to their fast attack speed, making them overly strong. So our weapon deals 875 damage times 1.05 for 5%, resulting in 918.75, rounded to 919 damage per hit. If you throw your weapon now, it's times 2 for a critical hit, meaning 1838 damage. If you freeze an enemy and then hit it, it's times 3, so 2757 damage per hit. And if you sneak strike an enemy, it's times 8, so, well, I'm already trembling while doing the math, 7352 damage. This is by far the most powerful weapon in the entire game. Just for comparison, Calamity Ganon and BOTW had 8000 HP. If this weapon were already available there and you could hit him with a sneak strike, you could have almost one-hit the final boss. After all the champion lasers hit, he had 4000 HP left, so you could almost one-hit 2 final bosses. Oh my god, dude, I can't even describe this. Hey, this is our game and the super powerful. Take this. Hey, great if you've understood all of this. Fantastic. If not, it's also fine because nothing bad can happen to you now anyways. But here comes the really important part. Why don't we just use, as we've always done, the Barbarian armor with level 3 attack boost, and then we use a much stronger item like a Silver Lionel Horn instead of this disgusting jaw? Quite simply because we already have the level 3 attack boost from the meal, and using the Barbarian armor wouldn't add another 50%. That said, many of you, maybe exactly you watching this video, would craft this weapon. 49 damage Royal Guard's Claymore plus 55 from Lionel Horn. Times 2 when the weapon has only 3 hits left, totaling 188. Times 2 again because the weapon has only 1 durability left, equals 376. Now the important part, no 50% from food, as we already get that from the armor and it can't be stacked. No 80% because we're not wearing the Radiant armor anymore. But 50% from the Barbarian armor, so 564 damage. Times 1.05 for the two-handed weapon bonus equals 592 damage. With the jaw solution we have 919 damage. So let me ask you again, do you want that? No, so we'll do it the way I showed you before. Now probably the most pressing question on all your minds. Wait, what is this, a call? Hey Linko?
Hey Zelda Senpai, quick question. What's a weapon with only 1 durability supposed to be good for?
Linko, I'm glad you asked. The answer to your question, led by Linko seemingly, is pretty simple, for defeating Lionels. Because if you're riding on a Lionel's back and attacking it while doing so, your weapon, no matter which one it is, won't lose any durability at all. So we have the best weapon in the entire game that can never break. To get on the Lionel spec, just throw down a mushroom on the ground or shoot an eye attached to an arrow in its face, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5000 HP gun and the strongest Lionel in the game is dead, obliterated. This is unbelievable. Our weak weapons with 60 to 70 damage are nothing compared to this wrecking ball of a club. And while we're on the topic of shooting in the face, grab a 5-shot Lionel bow and attach Gypto bones, adding 40 damage. How do you get the bow? Don't be silly, killing Lionel shouldn't be a problem for you from now on. 32 for each shot with the Lionel bow plus 40 is 72, and that times 5 for 5 fired arrows equals 360 damage. 80% boost from the Radiant set is 648 damage. Now multiply it by 1.5 for the level 3 attack boost meal, resulting in 972 damage per shot if all arrows hit. This is a bow, for God's sake. Is it OP? Yes. Do I love it? Absolutely. Silver Lionel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots and dead. Or throw the sword at an enemy you couldn't defeat before, deal 1838 damage and beat the game.
Okay, sounds good so far, but what if we want to use this weapon to fight all enemies?
Yes, good question, Linko, because here's the crucial point. If you want to use this weapon against all enemies, then assemble it just the way I showed you, except don't intentionally damage it beforehand. Now you won't deal 919 damage anymore, only 231 with the armor and food, but that's still incredibly strong. When it's nearly broken, go to Garonia to this spot here with the Octorok, save it, throw it down, let it suck it in, check if you get the plus 10 damage effect again, if yes keep it, if not reload your save, and repeat it until you have a plus 10 damage modifier. Now this weapon is fully repaired. Make sure to kill the Octorok now so that it reappears after the next Blood Moon, because each Octorok can only repair one weapon for each life, and then you have to wait for a new one to appear. In case you want to have all the legendary weapons in the entire game, not just the absolute best one I showed earlier, but legendaries across all classes, spears, one-handed, two-handed, which are must-have for each collector, then you absolutely must watch this video here right now, because on this video we'll look at all available legendary weapons and all of Tears of the Kingdom, how to obtain them, and well, a few secrets regarding them. That being said, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.